Okay, LAPD's group stalking. Again, as I begin to compose an email, same time sounding helicopter activity, and a demon is third party, engaged in third party group stalking in the laundry room. This is P.O.C, the light source is over me. Simultaneity of audible activity, maintaining presence in close proximity, by the way, in order to do so, and doing so with knowledge of what I'm doing on my communication device, engaging in surveillance in the laundry room. Okay, so she's following with audible activity. This is a demon that's on a person. That's a demon also that's flying a helicopter. And you know that they're targeting the unnatural environment that remains over you. And so while I am composing an email, and this is speaking to, again, the federal housing policies that the entity that's engaged in criminal surveillance, that includes the state of California that's violating federal HUD housing. So I just want to be clear, you actually have the government violating federal housing. That's not funny. It's just, this is the hole that this corruption has gotten the state of California into. LAPD is monitoring on this computer, and I'm at work. So that includes, again, unlawful possession and knowledge, witnessing, looking at every social security number, the names of applicants, all their private information. As I literally open, so I'm going to show you what I did. Compose. Immediately sounding helicopter activity. This happened this morning inside of my bedroom. That's the private space where the sex offense is underway and federal stalking is underway. I'm uploading the video of a universal waste engaging in group stalking. As I upload that video at 7:15 in the morning, 7:16 in the morning, the entity is flying a circle around my apartment, amplifying the noise of that helicopter inside of my apartment. It's the pattern of conduct. It's the engagement in the criminal elements monitoring. It's crossing path in the sky space. It's audible activity. And it's also under the light source, engineered light. This is what's going on while you have Kumali that's crossing path right now. This is either Kumali that was in the laundry room or another demon, because they know that they're being documented and they're all acting as an entity. So you're not going to focus on and be, oh, I have to figure out the specific name of that demon. Kumali is crossing path, so it's reasonable to suggest, oh, it could have been. Is that you, Bennett? Good morning. How's it going, sir?
Good. How are you?
Great. I'm excellent. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's P.O.C. He is done with the medical field. He is engaging in what is very disturbing, speaking to the mental illness of those that are in the medical field, in the legal profession. I worked with the demon-possessed who were monitoring me while I was a practicing attorney, and he's engaging in what is highly mentally deranged conduct, and he is crossing path as I walk back out of my door. These are demons that are tracking your every move, and he's group stalking and walking out of reasonably assumed to be the laundry room with fabrics in his hand. Kumali is crossing path as well, while LAPD is crossing path. This is the ongoing, this is what they're doing. Okay, and this is what a demon wants to do in front of you all day long while the light source is over you. This is what a demon wants to do. Very deranged. This is what the demon possessed are doing. Now, in order to do this as a group, you're talking about a group that's keeping the light source over you. They're standing in front of you. Oh, but they'll keep their back to you. They're not looking at you. They're walking away from you. They're talking to other people. They're doing other things. They're flying away from you. They're staying right in your path while the light source stays over you. And you have all manner of what is impossible light activity. Those that are not looking at you, look in the opposite direction, and while they're driving, light activities going all around, all over the surfaces. While they're keeping their back to you, talking to other people, wanting to look like they're not focused on you, aware of you, they don't even know you, but you're looking at what is their shadow appearing on the side of a building in motion while they're walking away, keeping their back to you. While they are not talking to you, engaged in what's supposed to be other conduct having nothing to do with you, you're witnessing observing the maintenance, the ongoing persistence of noise that coexists, occurs with simultaneity to what you may be physically doing, any new conduct. So if I stand in this direction for a prolonged period, and then I engage in a new behavior. So all of a sudden, after standing still for 5 minutes and I engage in a new conduct, I'll just change position, cross my legs, or turn in the opposite direction. That new behavior is met with audible activity creation. As I engage in anything on my phone, that is long pressing, uploading something, opening up a web page, highlighting something, and going to a different site or something. Audible activity is created while they are maintaining group presence. And that's what LAPD, that's the outward demonstration of demon possession. That's what I'm stating is occurring. They're doing so with knowledge. It's criminal monitoring. Let me be clear. The only thing that is monitoring you is Satan. That's a demonic spirit. This is a department that's engaging in what is criminal monitoring. This is the outward demonstration of demon possession. They are doing it in the unnatural environment. Okay, so it is currently 10:23 in the morning. The light source is not over, the sun is over, the sun is not over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. The light source is over me at the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court at 10:29 in the morning, as I documented on video for you to witness, which is the pattern of conduct. The sun is not over me at 18:10 while I'm facing what is the direction east. While you're looking at the entity, the Los Angeles Police Department, flying in the direction east. While you're looking at the light activity of their shadows going to this direction while they're walking along the sidewalk at Alvarado Gardens. This is the direction east along the hillside. It's not the sun that's over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, the back parking lot area in Rancho at 8303 Haven Avenue, at the same time remaining there, as I documented also on podcast, speaking to the prolonged presence that I was at that address. And then you're going to juxtapose that with what the entity is doing here. So you also understanding what's the specific environment, and that is speaking to an entity that's targeting, and it's also demonic, and it does not stop at the doors of the court. The entity is filled with a demon-possessed judges, attorneys, those that are calling themselves mental or medical professionals entering the courts. Bennett Gossiker, he's either still in school or he is already in the medical field. He's done. He's a documented demon-possessed third-party group stalker, a documented terrorist. Terrorists will not be in the medical field. Documented terrorists will not be in the legal field. They will not be in law enforcement, period. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you understand that, and I believe his roommate also, Alexis Gutierrez, she's done with the medical field already. If she's not yet, I mean, I don't know. I haven't studied medicine. I studied law. So you can go to law school. That you're not barred from going to law school, but if there is something with regard to moral turpitude, something that disqualifies you, and group stalking, federal group stalking and monitoring shall be the grounds of disqualification for practicing medicine, for practicing law, for entering into the law enforcement profession. It also shall be the grounds of being removed from it, and permanently removed. You will never, ever have anything to do with a weapon or be in law enforcement. This is the identification of the specific environment here at Alvarado Gardens, and I'm using the courthouse so that you understand what is the corruption of the entirety of the state, okay? Because I'm showing you the pattern of conduct, the criminal system underway at a courthouse, where, by the way, this entity entertained what was fictitious prosecutions. And why is it fictitious? Because they're keeping one under surveillance and then feigning as though legal doctrines such as probable cause or the commission of any crime, when actually the government was committing a crime, and they were being documented and engaging what is stalking. So while the government is stalking me, I'm documenting it and not engaging in any crime. By the way, not only are they the criminal, but they're also then making up the information about why they arrested me, and they're stalking. Okay, so you're talking about in every regard making it up, and the judges are entertaining it. I want to be clear, they're also monitoring in the courts, and they are also entertaining this fictitious prosecution where they're literally making up the demons of the DA, making up names of DAs to entertain a fictitious prosecution upon malicious charges, okay, where you are stalking. Okay, there's no sun over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. Secondly, the entity is engaging in what is the ongoing pattern of conduct with simultaneity to what I'm doing. The entity is maintaining this environment at 5 p.m. when I walk out of my office. It's currently 10. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hours from now, which is what you saw yesterday, 5 p.m., the light source is over building 1802. This is building 1802 right here. You see it right here above the building, and it remains directly above me. And the only difference you're seeing is my shadow, which is right here. The light source remains here. You're at 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where it's at. That's what the entity is doing. That's how you're recognizing targeting. The demon-possessed are targeting. The demon-possessed are targeting through the audible activity, which you're recognizing through that behavioral pattern. The demon-possessed are targeting through their presence. And while they are present, they're creating light activity in the engineered light, and they're monitoring all around you. They are cockroaches indeed in the spirit, and they're engaging what is cockroach behavior. And that's literally a demon that is necessarily very close in proximity to me to simultaneously engage in what is crossing path, and doing so with simultaneity to what I'm doing on the communication device, which is the ongoing documented pattern. So that is both recognition of what is the criminal surveillance system. It's also the recognition of what is a demon. And this is the condition of the Los Angeles Police Department. Okay, I want to make sure I break that down for you. It's 10:27 a.m. This is P.O.C. The light source remains here for the duration of the day. And so that's speaking to what is nothing other than the crime scene. And Bennett Gossiker is a documented group stalker. He's a documented terrorist, a sex offender, and none of that is being hyperbolic. That's the reality of the criminal conduct, and you shall be summarily removed from practicing medicine. And if with regard to the ability to go to school for medicine, that's fine. Because like I said, what I do understand as an aspiring attorney, you can go to law school, but you'll never be able to practice law. Some people want to do it for funsies, that's fine. But you will never sit for the bar. You will never practice law in any jurisdiction within the U.S. as a documented terrorist, which is what is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is currently 10:28 a.m., and that's the maintenance of the light source, which is not over the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. All right, this is P.O.C. This is speaking to, again, what SCI is documented engaging in. This is a communication device, and they are engaged in what is criminal conduct in violation of Title 18, 22618, subsections 1 and 2, which is federal stalking. Just so that you can see that statute, this is what Speaker Company is engaging in as a third party. They're not exercising any constitutional rights. The government's criminal system is underway. And just so that you can see, a person is guilty of stalking when they travel across state lines or federal jurisdiction, including maritime boundaries, with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, or place another in fear of death or physical injury, which, by the way, you are reasonably doing so when you are engaging in what is stalking in a helicopter in particular. And you're also doing that when you are surrounding the target individual in a specific environment, which is entirely unnatural to ever occur, which is, again, the substance of the federal prosecution. It will be premised upon what is an entirely unnatural environment. It's unnatural behavior, but an unnatural environment, one that is a scientific impossibility. That's how you're recognizing the malice of the government that is engaging what is stalking in plain sight and hiding it through the environment that they're remaining in. So this is the malice of the demon possessed. 2261A subsection 1 is going over what is the acting with the intent to kill, injure, harass, or intimidate. The entity is engaging when it's placing one under surveillance with the intent to kill, injure, harass, and or intimidate. Let me be clear. Stalking in helicopters is that which is reasonably construed as conduct demonstrating an intent to kill, an intent to injure, harass, and intimidate. All of the above. The entity is also documented engaging in a pattern of literally kidnapping those that are stalking in helicopters, pursuing in helicopters, remaining in helicopters, engaging in the pattern of arriving in helicopters with regard to whatever it is that I'm doing. The entity is engaging in this conduct, which is, again, under the federal stalking statute, placing me under surveillance with that unlawful intent by virtue of engaging in this criminal elements of monitoring, as I've outlined to you, the entity's pattern of conduct. It is satisfying on what are the federal stalking statute. In addition to that, it speaks of what is including interstate commerce, and they are doing so because they are monitoring with communication devices on the venue of the internet. I further argue that they are also engaging in what is relevant to interstate commerce, all the ways in which they do so, because the entity is doing so in the sky space. They're using commercial airline planes. They're doing it by helicopter, and they're doing it on the roads and the highways as Omnitrans, a third-party group stalker, public transportation. Massive surveillance is underway on the roads and the highways, and this is that which should also be taken under consideration with regard to the state's pattern of conduct of engaging in not only criminal surveillance, but also the system of federal stalking, which is inherent to the state's criminal system. All right. And that ongoing pattern of creating the audible activity because you're stalking in a helicopter in the specific environment is in violation of Title 18, while they're also engaging in what is state surveillance, a violation of your constitutional human rights. All right. And this is also relevant to federal prosecution under RICO laws. It is currently 10:31 a.m. This is P.O.C.